All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do something crazy. We're going to take the XH2 and the 70-300 outside into my backyard and get some shots of birds. The reason why I'm doing this is because I'm thinking about selling the 100-400. And I really want the 700-300 to replace my 100-400 because this thing is so light. I can take it everywhere. It's got great minimum focus distance. I really like this lens. But lately, I've also really enjoyed taking pictures of birds, even though it's like boring and I kind of sit there half the time and they run away from me. But I still want to take this out and have fun. So my idea is thinking about this lens on the XH2 with the 40 megapixels. Can I crop in and get a decent amount of zoom reach, fake zoom reach, I know, but still, can I crop in a little bit and then maybe use like gigapixel or photo AI to clean up a photo if it's just maybe a little bit soft or if it's a little farther back? That's going to be the test. We're going to go shoot a bunch of photos with this thing, see if I can cheat a little bit and zoom in and crop. This is my backyard, a bunch of fallen trees in my backyard. We have this amazing bird buddy, which will actually take pictures of birds too, probably better than mine. And here's where the action happens. And then that's my blind. That's my that's my photo blind right there. So we're gonna sit down for a little bit and get some shots of some common backyard birds. You know, I'm so skinny that if I sit in this chair long enough, the birds will just think that I'm blending into the background. But I can't even talk with a straight face. I'm ruining all my bird shots now because they're just listening to me. They're so smart. They can see everything. Okay, so I'm like a professional grizzled birder. I was out there for probably 20 minutes. And I can barely feel the tip of this finger. So I was really roughing it out there. But I think I got some decent shots of some birds with the 70-300, and we're gonna check them out and then maybe see if we need to put them through some kind of artificial intelligence enhancers to make them look, you know, better than maybe just straight out of the camera. So let's check them out. Okay, so we got the images into Lightroom and we're gonna check them out. So the weather was decent. Sometimes the sun was coming out, but a lot of times it was in some deep cloud cover. So there's a photo like this that's probably a little grainier than I would have liked, but you know what? We're gonna look at them anyway. And for something like this, you know, it's a decent amount of detail, but this is a test to see how much we can crop. I'm gonna crop a decent chunk, something like that. We're gonna put the rule of thirds right there. All right, we're gonna go to this one, beautiful cardinal, and let's crop in a little bit on this one, something like this, I think. And look at it, it's not too bad, but you know, it's not perfect. I think I'm pushing that 70-300, and at the very maximum, you know, I'm going 300 millimeters wide open on all these images basically, and I think that's the challenge, is to try to make these look great. And they look okay, you know, when I'm looking at them like this, I think they look good on social media. I think they look okay, but what about like a decent print? I'm not sure of. But with the XH2, with 40 megapixels, we should be able to crop in a little bit and get a decent amount of detail. So this is when the light started coming out a little bit more, so I bet you these images will do a little bit better. Light is everything, right? And oh, look at that cool bird. Some kind of awesome sparrow. Let him look over to the right. Or her, I have no idea. This sparrow let me get pretty close, so there's a lot of detail there. She was very brave. Look at that, that's cool. And then this nuthatch was just checking me out. I was near the feeders, and they were just like, "What are you doing, bro?" So we're gonna get in kind of close on that one too, and we're gonna check these out. So we're gonna take these, and I'm gonna export these suckers as let's do large JPEGs. I'm gonna put them on the desktop, new folder, create it, export it. While we're exporting, we're gonna go ahead and get into Photo AI,
and then bring those images into there. Okay, so we're in Photo AI. Photo AI does an amazing job of cleaning up noise and then also sharpening features. So like on this image, already the background is grainless. Holy cow, look at the difference there. Let's go ahead and click sharpen and see how it does on both removing the noise and sharpening on that chickadee. And it does an amazing, incredible job. Look at that. That is pretty stunning. It's not perfect. As you can see, it doesn't take some of the noise away down here. Yeah, it kind of doesn't do it, but just for one click, that's pretty cool. Let's go into this cardinal. On the left, you can see the original. On the right is what Photo AI does, and I'm going to sharpen that too. It does a pretty good job on birds, and it did a good job on that one too. That's pretty sweet. The face looks pretty sharp. The eye especially. Look at those highlights in the eye. Looks fantastic. That is pretty sweet. Let's keep going. So far, I'm pretty pumped with the 70-300 and how I could probably mess with these files to make them look better, even though I'm cropping in. I mean, that looks incredible. Look at the definition of that bird. Holy cow, Photo AI can do amazing things. This thing is sweet. There it's updated. Look at how clean all that green is and how detailed that bird is. That is phenomenal. Let's check out this female cardinal. We're going to do the same thing to this one. It's a little dark, but that's okay. Wow. Clean up the background. There's not any noise, and it really sharpened up that cardinal. The 70-300, these files do amazing with this program. Photo AI is like a savior. You can go out, you can get in closer, and you don't have to worry too much about grain and even the details. It brings them out, especially in birds. It does a great job in birds. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. It's catching up. Look at that. I mean, that's crazy. I love this program. Let's look at this. And we're going to sharpen as usual. Incredible. I mean, that's not fake detail. That's detail, just real. This is the original, and this is the incredibly detailed, grainless image. We got a couple more. This one should be pretty sweet. It already was pretty detailed in the original, and that one's phenomenal. The colors, everything looks great. There's a little bit of noise on the head, but that's not a big deal if you're looking at it a little bit farther away. That's pretty sweet. And this is one of those things where you can go in and you can do a couple versions. You can kind of mess with it a little bit. This is just straight out, basically just one click. And then this guy, this curious nuthatch, see how this works? And that's pretty awesome. So Photo AI does an amazing job. Let's go ahead and check out some of the exact same situations with the 100-400 to kind of compare a little bit. So these are from the same spot I was sitting at for the 70-300, but these are with the 100-400, and you can already see a difference. I'm a lot closer. The birds are, sharper. They look a little bit better. The light was probably a little bit better that day, as you can see. But one of the things about this is that the birds are more comfortable because they could be a little bit farther away. And with the extra 100 millimeters, you get that reach. These birds don't think that you're very close to them, so they're a little bit more comfortable and chill. Let's take a couple of these. Let's take this one, and let's take that one. And we're going to crop into these files even more because we want to see what the difference is with Photo AI and how much we can get away with. So we're going to use those 40 megapixels. Let's do this file and see what we can do in Photo AI. Export them, and I'll see you there in a second. All right, we're in Photo AI, and right away we can see a pretty drastic difference here. We're going to go to standard on the sharpen. That's pretty crazy. It's probably a little too much, but you can just see how much more detail that the Photo AI is able to see with that 100-400, not having to crop quite as much, and we're still getting an incredible amount of resolution here. Look at that. That's just awesome. And then we got this last one, this sweet little bird. And yeah, that looks just stunning. So the 100-400 definitely has the edge in pretty much every respect over the 70-300. I expected that a little bit, But I guess maybe I didn't expect this much in like this photo. That's almost too much sharpening. We can lower it, we can mess with it, but just for one click, I think we're making some declarations, some decisions here. Okay, so the 70-300 on the XH2 is pretty decent. Can it replace my 100-400? Look at that size difference. That is crazy. And I don't know. The answer is maybe for most of the cases that I'm going to be using to telephoto with. You know, if I'm going to go out and do landscapes, if I'm going to go out and do walk-arounds, the 70-300 can just fit really nicely in a bag. It could fit in my pocket almost. The thing is pretty small. The 100-400 is not exactly the tiniest or the lightest, but the extra 100 millimeters you get from this, it's pretty good. You know, I could put a 1.4 teleconverter on here. I could do some of the cropping that you guys just saw, but this thing natively at 400 is going to be higher quality than this at 300 with either cropping in or with a teleconverter. So once again, I'll probably keep both. I'm insane.